Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, live from Harlem in New York City. It's me. Yeah, that's me. I'm Alex Bennett. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a very funny guy that lives out on the west coast of the United States in San Francisco. He's also an old friend, and I really enjoyed talking to him. His name is Larry Bubbles Brown. Yay!
We go way back.
We do go way back. How many years is it now? When did we first meet?
You had me, the first time I did your show was January of 83.
Do you know the day?
It was a Friday.
Yeah.
So it would have been, I think it was the 14th.
14th. Oh, okay.
And I was so intimidated, I didn't say much, and I felt real bad. And you said, "Don't worry, I'll have you back soon."
Mm-hmm.
And you did.
Oh, the reason I did, I'll tell you why I did. I had you back because when somebody comes on, it's their first time, and they don't talk much. I like that because I know they're taking their best shot. You know, they're not just trying to just talk a lot so they fill time out and show off themselves and so on. And I like that about you.
Oh, okay.
And I knew there was more to you in just what you said than being that quiet. And so I had you on more and more, and you became more confident. And you still...
Yeah, I mean, it was very... I'd never been on radio. The first time it was very intimidating. And,
what was intimidating about it?
Well, you had the live audience, and all these... I think Stephen Pearl was on with me, and...
what year was this again?
83.
83. Okay. All right. That was... We were still on the Quake, right?
Yeah, on the Sutter Street.
Yeah. So, there was a studio audience, and I'm trying to think. We had Stephen Pearl on that day, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Who else was there? Do you remember?
I just recall me and him, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Some days it wasn't. I preferred it when I had like 2 or 3 comedians, not when I had a gangbang of like 5 of them. And then they're all sitting there trying to top each other. And
that's horrible.
It can get funny, but it also is very hard as a host. You know, as a host of a show, you're really like the ringmaster of a circus.
Yeah, and with 5 comics, you lose control.
And you got to get all the lions to be on their perches, you know. And so you have to. When you're doing a show live, it's very strange how you control these people. And I found I could control everybody with a look. Like, it's your turn now.
Yeah.
You know. But sometimes we get people in like Warren Thomas and Stephen Pearl and Jeremy Kramer. And the 3 of them were just all trying to top each other.
Because it was too much.
Just an endless stream of comedy, yeah. You waited your shot, but if you were in that group, you probably wouldn't say anything.
No, I'd be way too intimidated by those guys.
Yeah, but you're just interesting talking. I mean, I looked at almost 350 of these things.
Jesus.
I mean, that's a lot. It's over 300, that I know. And that's a lot of talking that we've done. Wait a minute, I'll look it up right now. I can find it. Right here, let me see here, guess. Wait a minute, hold on a second. I got to go here. I went up into the thing that says guess. Oh, wait a minute, I got to get guess. Oh, here it is. Okay. We'll have to wait for it to come up because there's a lot of files there. Oh, here we go. Okay, now I go down to Bubs, and I go to the first Bubs. And I go to the, let me see here. Come on. Oh, wow. That's a lot. Hold on. I'll give it to you in a second. I'm working on it.
Okay.
Are you folks bored out there while I'm
Yeah.
doing this? Okay, I'm glad you are. Okay, now I go get info. Are you ready for this? Okay. Well, in actual files that I have here, and I find this almost hard to believe, it says 377.
Jesus.
We've done 377 of these. The first one I have here, and you may have done more because it says Bubbles 3 and Bubbles 4. Oh, there's a Bub 2. When's that? Is that earlier? 7 and 6? Been doing these since 2016.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to hear what you sounded like when you were?
No, I'll probably no. It'd depress me.
No, here. Hold on a second. Wait a minute.
So it's our good friend Larry Bubbles Brown once again. Hi, Bubs.
Hey, thanks for pulling me out of the grave.
Giving you a
I had so
second.
many comments. People go, "He's still alive."
See, now I could have done that. Hold on a
We
second.
were
Let
talking
me just
before
end
we
this.
started this.
Okay. That was you back then. And I could play that today, and most people would think we recorded it this week.
Yeah, I just noticed your voice and my voice kind of sound the same. We
Yeah,
haven't
I
changed
guess.
that much.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I keep thinking mine's gotten a little different, but it hasn't really. You know? But, I mean...
No, you still have the strong broadcast voice. People, as they get older, usually their voices kind of go up a bit, and they get a little creaky.
Yeah, and by the way, you're taking up 4.57 gigabytes on my disk. So
Is that a lot?
that's a lot, yeah. But it says 377 documents, so I assume we're up to 377.
We've got more airtime than Hugh Downs.
Yeah. So, I mean, that amazes me, too. But we've been doing it since 2016.
So 9 years.
So that's 9 years, and we do 52 a year, I guess. Probably should be more than that. But
With
no,
9
that would be
years
just
to be
about
50 before 50. So, then you got to. But see, there's times we didn't do for holidays.
Right, exactly. So the 377 seems to make sense.
Yeah,
Now,
it does.
I didn't think it
Jesus.
made sense, but wow. Well, we should stop now. I can just run reruns. I can
Just repeat 'em.
I just run reruns for the rest of my life and not have to even talk to you. Wow.
Because,
And I've been wasting all my time talking to you.
yeah, we've been exhausting ourselves.
Anyway, so what's new with Larry Bubbles Brown? You been working?
Just a little, yeah. Did a little show, a winery show that I actually book out in Lodi. This is actually a very nice gig. And
The winery seemed to like you.
wineries are a great place to do comedy. So you get an audience that's they actually seem a little more smarter than you do in the clubs.
I would imagine it also because they're doing wine, obviously.
Yeah.
They're a little more mellow because wine is not a booze high,
Exactly.
you know?
The alcohol and that alcohol can get people really ugly.
Really?
They get loud, and then a little more they get violent. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. Have you ever had anybody...
You and I were never drinkers.
Have you ever had a crowd that you were playing to get violent?
My first year of comedy, when that day the Niners had won and they were going to the Super Bowl, and the crowd was just out of control.
Really?
I was at the Punchline. I was been doing comedy a year, and everyone was just yelling and screaming. I ended my set by saying, "Fuck you, people. I hope you lose next week."
Oh, boy.
I think they wanted to hang me at that point. I just ran out of the building.
Now, you were heckled by a very famous person at one point.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, so you remember, well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So you might want to tell that story because it got me to hate him. when you told
Really?
the story to
Okay,
me.
well,
Yeah, because
he
I
was-
went, what right does somebody have to heckle Larry Bubbles Brown, the most unheckable person in history?
But you have to remember the situation. He was so drunk.
Okay.
He was
Well, we won't reveal who it was till the end. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Tell
it
the
was
story. You were called. It was the Mitchell brothers, wasn't
I was
it?
hired. Mitchell Brothers was opening their little. It was down by the American Music Hall. What was they called? They called the Mitchell Brothers.
Yeah, Mitchell brothers, and they had all the fish on the side of the building,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whales and
they
things
had,
like that.
So they were just opening that. They had.
In fact, when they wanted to close that place down after, one brother killed the other brother,
right.
I can't remember which brother killed which brother. Do you remember?
I think there was Artie Mitchell and John Mitchell, but I don't know which one
I
took
think
the bullet.
Artie got killed, I think. I'll look it up sometime.
And I don't think the brother. I don't think he served little, if any, time.
Yeah, right. Well, he killed him because I was kind of privy to that story. I mean, he just had it with him, and he showed up at his house, I think, with a gun. If it was Artie, it was either. I think it was Artie. Anyway, and he was so sick and tired of this guy, going like that. He was just had a drug problem. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the other brother, just to protect himself, shot him, And I mean, he had to live with that for the rest of his life. But the two of them, the Mitchell brothers, were very famous for what we would call high-quality porn, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was porn,
Porn.
There were penises in mouths, I mean, that's porn, okay? Not softcore.
Well, that was the Mitchell Brothers Cinema. Then they opened the thing with the whales on the building, and that was
Yeah.
live performance.
So this was a big opening of that, and
They were going to have a grand opening. So before they opened, they had a private party for the employees, and I got a call from Tom Sawyer, and he said they wanted some comedians, so he booked me, Milt Abel, and Frank Prinzi to come down and do the show for the employees, which we did, and at one point, I go on, and I'm up there for a few minutes. I just hear some guy, oh, yeah, just incomprehensible shit. And
like you're not funny or...
Yeah, get off.
Yeah. And this, to me, to do to Bubbles, if I were there, I'd punch the guy in the face. And I'm not violent, okay? But you don't do this to Bubbles. Bubbles has the most unheckable act in history. Okay, you don't get many hecklers, do you?
Hardly ever, no.
Yeah, but this time you did, and he was abusive, as you
Pretty
told.
abusive, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was a mean drunk.
Yeah, and he was obviously drunk.
Uh-huh.
Now tell them who the guy was.
It was Hunter Thompson. Who I think he was living there, or he was definitely staying he was writing something about them. So he was there for weeks or months. So.
Yeah, but, I mean, of course, it's wonderful to say you were heckled by Hunter Thompson. But when it happened, you came back to me, told me the story, and you were bothered by it.
Yeah, because I remember my father actually liked Hunter Thompson. He thought he was a great writer, and
I did too. I was a fan until that happened.
Yeah, so that is actually I should. It's kind of a good story now that I think about it. I got heckled by Hunter Thompson.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great story. That's why I just brought it up. And it's funny that in 366 episodes, I've never brought it up.
No.
It's really a part of your history.
And then I remember the bunch of the girls that worked there. A couple of them came up to me and they said they really liked me, and if they weren't lesbians, they would fuck me. So.
Did they say that?
Yeah.
If I weren't a lesbian, I'd fuck you.
Fuck you, yeah.
That's kind of a compliment, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to get you laid, but it's a nice compliment.
But yeah, looking back, I think it was '85. I should know the date, but that was a crazy night.
Yeah. But when did that happen? See, he remembers dates.
And I should know the exact date. I just remember it was 1985.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be about right, because I was still on the air in 80. In fact, That was my first year, maybe at the Quake. No, at Live 105.
Live 105, you came on in February of '86.
86.
Yeah.
Okay, because I've had it all wrong, because I tried to figure out that I was on KMEL, then I was off KMEL, then I was hired by the Quake at an enormous amount of money. That's why I left KMEL. I saw it as a great opportunity, but it turned out it was the station was bought by a bunch of people who didn't know how to handle money, and they sent money back to this guy in Philadelphia if there were any profits coming out of the station or all the money that came to the station, and he spent it ridiculously badly on himself. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now the station is going bankrupt. All right. And it was just a terrible situation. But I originally went over. I think we lasted. How long were we at the? Do you remember at that?
You went off
Quake?
sometime in, because let's say I did your show in '83. You were there in '84, and then I think sometime in '80. I remember at one point you and Rogalski you weren't sure your checks were going to clear. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Well, I told everybody. I told the bosses. I said, if you don't have enough money to make the checks clear for everybody else here, then don't pay me for that week, and we'll catch you on the other side if the money is coming in. I said, but I'm making so much money that I can afford not to take a check for a couple of weeks
Wow, that was
or whatever.
nice.
Yeah. So, it was a terrible time, by the way. It was just horrible. And then finally I went off the air, and they were paying me, not to work, because my contract was still in force, because I had lawyers making sure that it was. And then all of a sudden I got this deal from Live 105. I won't go into it. It's a long, involved deal. But basically it was a kind of a football deal, where one station would take part of the expense, and the other one would take care of the other part of the expense. And if I did better than I originally had done at the Quake, they would no longer have to pay me. And the people who at the Quake said, no, we don't like that deal. We just want it, like we do 40%, you do 60%. And the first book that came out, I beat my numbers at the Quake, and they had to still keep paying me. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's that story.
And when you came to Live 105, were they paying you as much as the Quake had?
Yes. I think the same, if I remember correctly. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know, but the same. And it was, it was a good deal. I decided to do it. Although when I first walked in and saw that studio, I phoned my business manager and I said, "Is there any way we can get out of this?"
Yeah,
because you remember that. You remember that studio? It was terrible. It was just a small little rat's nest. It's in the building that's now owned by Elon Musk.
Twitter, yeah.
Yeah. And we were on the bottom floor, and it was so bad there were pigeons that roosted in the rafters and then shit on the people below. I remember my program director's office had a real shit problem from pigeons.
Did they have parking for you?
No. But
that would be a problem.
I think at that point I was able to park on the street. It was early in the morning, so the street was empty, and the street didn't have like 1 hour parking or anything like that, so I could just park in front of it. That was fine. But then when we went to the newer Live 105, there was a garage below, and I took out a spot.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, so it was great. It's what I have on my Facebook page. It says I used to be a big shot.
Your own parking. That's big when you have your own parking space.
Oh, I used to be a big shot. I mean, I was a big shot in San Francisco.
Well, how much was Quake paying you back then?
Quake was paying me in the end. They were paying me, I believe, somewhere in the neighborhood of $250,000 a year.
God, in 1982, three, that's huge.
Yeah. Plus, I had a deal. We wanted more than that, and they couldn't come up with it. So my business manager, Gary, came up with a thing. He said, well, Alex does these live reads for you, and you're making extra money off of that, or you're making money off of that because people want Alex to do a live read because I really sold product,
Right.
In fact, I was the heaviest seller, most successful seller on the air of Vermont teddy bears. And this was at a time when they were advertising with Howard Stern. I still sold more than Howard Stern. So people wanted me to do live reads. It was also because I used to kind of make fun of the product,
Right.
And I often said, like, the Vermont teddy bear, it's the best way of telling your girlfriend, I'm sorry I had sex with your friend. But anyway, what he did is he made a deal where I got $50 every time I did a live read. And that was good for another $50,000, $60,000 a year. So that was a good move on my business manager's part. So
I remember you did
I was making
almost
$400,000 a year there.
There was a mattress place you did live reads for, and
I'm trying to remember now. What was the
Brass and Glass or something like that?
Yeah, Brass and Glass. Yes, that was the name of it. Odd name for a mattress company.
Yeah.
I think it was a bedding company, so the brass came from the beds with the posts and everything like that. Glass and Brass. What was the glass they were selling? Anyway, I sold them. I can't remember what I did to their advertising. I remember what you did to yours. You did the.
I got fired. I lost Kaiser. So.
You lost Kaiser. He was my traffic guy. He would tell you where the traffic was going that morning with a famous saying that he used to use all the time, which was
"Park it, whore."
You're right. Anyway, you had Kaiser. Well, tell the story. You had Kaiser as an advertiser.
Yeah, I do the traffic, and then you give a little ad read at the end. I think Kaiser was one of the sponsors, and
you read the little thing at the end, and then you added to that.
Their phrase was, "Kaiser, we're different from the ground up," and I added because that's where most of our patients are.
Well, wait a minute, but there was a better one. The one that lost the advertiser. By the way, they were a hospital, Kaiser. Okay. Yeah. And it was, you don't remember?
Doctor.
You're coming up with it. Yeah, that's it.
Doctor-assisted suicide.
Yeah, you said Kaiser, doctor-assisted suicide. We don't want to advertise anymore with your traffic guy.
No, I can. I'll pull it out the next. I have a memo from Pat McNally from Kaiser saying, "Pull all spots immediately," with 3 exclamation points.
You see, what they didn't know is what I knew when I was doing spots for other people, is that if you make fun of them,
oh, they love that. It's good.
People will think good of the advertiser. And why will they think good of the advertiser? Because they've got a sense of humor
of course,
about themselves. And so they made, it was a big deal, And so when you made fun of them, Kaiser should have gone, good. At least people will remember who we are. That's all that you have to do with advertising is make people remember who you are.
They were furious.
They were absolutely furious. And I think Slayton lost me an advertiser. I can't remember which one for saying something.
Oh, I'm sure he has. No shock there.
But I used to tell the boss, whoever the boss was at the time, don't worry, Pat. Pat McNally was really there most of the time. Don't worry, Pat. There'll be another advertiser coming along who will want to advertise with us. So you lost Kaiser, big deal. You know,
Yeah.
actually, we didn't lose Kaiser. You were really working for the people who did the traffic.
I think of Metro Traffic.
Metro
yeah.
Traffic lost the advertiser,
Right.
but Pat knew about it, and
Yeah, he wasn't happy about
he
it.
wasn't delighted. But it was worth you doing that joke, because I have done that joke over and over again, year after year, when describing certain.
And it still applies today.
It still applies today. Doctor-assisted suicide. Well, this is maybe number 260. Let's see, that was 66, it was 677, then
This will be
78, 79. This is 679 with Larry Bubbles Brown. Thanks, Larry.
Thanks, Alex.
Bye.
Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Thank you very much, Larry. Love Larry Brown. How can you not love Larry? Are you kidding me? He's likable. He's terrific. Anyway, I appreciate him doing this with us every Friday is usually his day, and he's good. So anyway, if you maybe can hear a little bit of air conditioner in the background, but because it's getting hot. It's getting hot again. They're supposed to do like 101 tomorrow. 101 degrees, but they call it like feels like. It's not actually that. But they got to tell us what it's going to feel like so that we really go, oh my God, is it going to be like that? I don't believe it. Anyway, let me see here. I want to let somebody in here and see what they are going to do here, because I want to make sure this is who there's somebody that I like and that I believe in. Oh, there's Mark Thorner. Okay. I just wanted to make sure, Mark, that you were for real. Okay.
Yeah. I'm on my iPad and I'm talking to you from the middle of the Everglades.
The middle of the Everglades. Wait a minute. Let me put you up here. Let me bring these other people into the middle of the Everglades. So where are you at Alcatraz? What is it? Alligator Alcatraz?
No. That is literally about 50 or 60 miles east of where I am.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Because I used to drive out what they call the Keys, right?
Yeah.
Where's the Everglades in relationship to everything else?
Yeah, got news for you. The Keys are kind of part of that whole environment.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah, and right now I'm on what they call Big Cypress, which is the western part.
Uh-huh.
And I got two cameras trying to do the night sky. And I got a lot of snake hunters out here. They're trying to hunt the evasive.
Oh,
snakes.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. If they're trying to hunt snakes, what the hell are you doing out there?
I'm in my car. I'm in comfort right now.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just don't get bitten by any snakes or anything.
Oh, trust me. I'm a big chicken, so...
So what do snake hunters do? Do they get snakes and then stuff them, or what?
They get a bounty.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Why a bounty necessarily? I mean, don't we need snakes as part of the ecology?
No, these are evasive species, and they eat other critters, which are more important. So no. Again, these were people who bought these snakes, these cobra, whatever you want to call them, anacondas as pets. They get too big, and it's like, oh, let's just dump it in the Everglades.
Didn't we used to have them here in New York in the sewers?
I think those are alligators.
Those were alligators. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, and so you went out there to what? Do what's in the night sky that is worthy of your photography?
Right now, I'm doing a time lapse, so I'll get a video of literally the Milky Way moving through the sky.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Let me know where I can see it because I'd love to see that.
Oh, I've already done a bunch. Yeah, I can send you the link. That's easy.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
Yeah, the only thing is the mosquitoes out here are I'm wearing like literally what they call a bug-proof shirt. And yeah, it's pretty bad.
And this was the place you chose to live. Okay. Well,
Well, to be honest, Alex, I'm only about 30 minutes from here. So, yeah, I know it's like having a Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom National Geographic special literally at my doorstep.
yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Let me say hello to the other people that are
yeah.
here so far. Kevin is here. Hello, Kevin, with a cough, obviously. Now,
Hi, Alex.
Hello there. And Charlie Wallace is with us. And also Josh is here. All of them rather in darkened, 3 people in darkened environments.
Yeah.
You know. So if you can't see them, folks, that's the reason why. I just want to tell people something that they might be interested in for next week. I did a couple of interviews today with Mike Chisholm, who runs a thing called the Letterman Podcast, and a lot of you people have heard him here. And I called him up, and he said, "Well, I'm having somebody call you on Zoom." And so on the program with him is an old friend of mine, Bob Morton, known as Morty, who's the former executive producer of not only Late Night, but The Late Show with David Letterman. And he tells some incredible stories. And I've known Morty forever, from the time that he first knocked on my door, and I won't say why, but we'll let you hear all about it, and then we'll run that next Thursday. And then we did 2 of them. So, and he really tells us a lot about what went on that show. And of course, you know who Morty is, right? Mark?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's going to be next week. Hello to Kevin. How you doing, Kevin?
All right. How are you?
Yeah. I noticed you got all the furniture out of there.
Yeah, everything's back in the rooms, and I'm sore, and everything's good.
You're sore and everything's good. Yeah. Okay.
New carpet's in.
Uh-huh.
I'm
And
happy. It smells like new carpet all over.
yeah. Now, why are you doing new carpet? Because you're thinking of selling the place, or just because you want new carpet?
Both. It's been in for 20 some odd years, so we figured it's time.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it wall-to-wall stuff?
No, it was actually just in the hallway, the stairway, and the bedroom.
But were these wall-to-wall carpetings, or was it just lay-down carpet?
No, it's wall to wall, I guess you'd call it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
So you get under that after 20 years, and it had to be ugly.
Nah, the only bad part was the landing on the stairway, and my cat decided to get pissed off at the other cat one night and pissed all over it, and we treated it over and over again, and it never went away, so I had to replace the board on the landing.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's exciting news. And Charlie,
You betcha. You asked.
Yeah, I did ask, didn't I? Charlie,
you did.
Charlie, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah? You're at your lady friend's house again?
Yep.
Do you call her a girlfriend yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just, I don't want to be pushy. See?
I don't call her girlfriend, though, because that's Marjorie.
Well, that's Marjorie. That's right. You know what's amazing about Bob Morton today? He's only met Marjorie once, and that was at the Shecky thing, the Shecky Memorial that we had. He remembered her name. I said to him, and my wife, and he said, "You mean Marjorie?" And I went, "Oh, my God, has he got a memory?" I can't remember names anymore. I was having a hard time with coming up with, and I couldn't remember the name, and I got to write Mike about it. The name Iggy Pop because we were talking about the worst interviews that people had ever done, and I said Iggy Pop. But he wasn't the worst. He was the most fun because he just grunted every answer to every question I would possibly ask him. And then when at the end of the interview I said, "Do you do anything except grunt?" He belched. So. But I couldn't remember the name of Iggy Pop. It was driving me nuts. So anyway. And how are you doing, Josh?
Good, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Is everything fine in your little neighborhood?
I believe so. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. And let me see here. And you have you have something you can plug now. You have an article.
I did have one. Yeah.
You had one, and now you're going to have a second one.
It's on the website. Yeah, there's two.
It's where do they go if they want to read it? It's very heady stuff, folks. Let me warn you ahead of time.
Well, they're in the Journal of the American Revolution, so you can. I suppose you could search for the Journal of the American Revolution on Google, or you could go to their website, which is allthingsliberty.com. That's what they.
Oh, wow.
That's the web address they have assigned. So.
Yeah. Now let me ask you, Kevin, have you read it yet?
I read part of it.
See,
I haven't read the second one. No,
the first one I read part of, but it's pretty heady stuff. I mean, you're a smart guy, Josh. I never knew that. I thought you were just stupid. I didn't know that.
The second one's a little bit more narrative-ish, so it's a little better. But because it tells a story about a raid over a couple of days by a loyalist colonel who, when he realized the war was going to be over, basically set out to take his revenge on, people that he didn't like because the society at the time was pretty lawless. If you were a tough guy, you could, it was like the Wild West. You could get away with things and, you could outrun the law and, that would be the end of it. So he settled some scores and, he settled in a serious way. He killed people, in their own homes. And the people that he went to kill that weren't home, he basically burned their entire plantations, properties, whatever. So,
it was not a civilized time to live, was it? I mean,
well, it depended. I mean, it depended. I mean, that, overall, no, it was not. But that's not.
Would you say it's safer for me to live in New York City today than it would have been for me to live in New York City in those days?
Well, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even then, we didn't have law enforcement and things that we do now. But even in like the interior, that the part of the point of the article was that this civil war that raged after Yorktown for a year or so, you could live in one town in absolute complete peace. I mean, you could just live in this bubble of, there was no war here. We were not affected. Everything is fine. And, 10 miles to the east, or to the west or north or the south, there could be a band of loyalists or a band of patriots come through town and burn 5 or 6 houses and kill 3 or 4 people and, slaughter the livestock and, I mean, just devastate the community and then move on and nothing would ever happen. So, it really just depended. So.
Well, you told me once that we tend to think that once the Civil War, once the the Revolutionary War was over, it was over. But it wasn't over. There were people getting
it really
even.
wasn't. I mean, my work is based on the fact that, and I mean, really historians know this, but I mean, my work is based around, Yorktown. Washington goes to Yorktown and stands in the front, and the French show up with their ships, and they sail in from the back, and the British army is trapped, and they throw up their hands and give up, and the war was over.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which is more or less true, but that's a nice, tidy, convenient little way for all these narrative history books and everything to wrap it up. And, Cornwallis surrenders, and then they give you 4 or 5 more paragraphs, and then, and the end, right? But that wasn't the end. It's funny that I was going around and around. We're not really round and round, but with Kevin and Patrick earlier about something where it wasn't what Churchill called it. It wasn't the end. It was the beginning of the end.
Well, let me ask you though, when
So-
when would you say that we could consider that the Revolutionary War resolved itself? It was ended. There was no more strife or anything like that. About a year later, maybe.
Well, it was about a year and a half. It was about 18, 19 months later.
Yeah.
The Provisional Peace Treaty agreed to in November of 1782. It wasn't signed by all the parties and communicated back to all the various states and countries until, mid to late 1783. So that really ended it 99%. There are a few historians who kind of joke around that there was what was called right up here outside of Toledo, Ohio, what was called the Battle of Fallen Timbers, where some American Patriot forces evacuated by force a group of British soldiers that had refused to leave one of the western ports, or not ports, forts that they had ceded to the United States as part of the treaty. After the treaty was signed, the British sort of reneged on some of the things that they said they would do, and one of them was leaving some of the western posts and western territories that they held, in the United States. And then when they were evacuated by force, and the Americans won the Battle of Fallen Timbers, a lot of them say, then it was completely over. But again, then it's just funny because we were talking about this.
It's funny. It's funny you should mention all of this, and you could get even more into it. But I don't know how much people can follow it necessarily. But we tend to think of the Revolutionary War as being this: did there, went there, did it, we won, goodbye. And it wasn't. That wasn't that simple. Never was that simple. And quite frankly, I don't think that this country has ever been particularly simple.
Well, it's not, because it's made up of a lot of, different people and, and cultures and things like that all mixed together, whether we like it or not, but, so, I mean, it was never simple. I mean, it was a different type of thing, people, historically up to that point, other than like isolated things and whatnot, they'd really never gotten together and decided what kind of government, they were going to live under and their children would live under. It was always handed to them when they were born, by a king or a dictator or a semi-republic, Republican, I should say, type of government where they had some power but not a lot, like England. I mean, English citizens had rights and everything. They didn't, at least by that time anyway, they didn't live completely under a king. I mean, after the English had their own sort of revolution, at the time of the American Revolution, English citizens had rights. I mean, the king couldn't sit on the throne and say, "Bring me the head of so and so" at that time. That they didn't stand for that anymore. They'd had their own revolution, and English citizens had rights. So, but not. But Americans wanted more than that. So, I mean, the thing is, it was very complicated. The American Revolution just has so many facets. I'm doing a lot of work on the military side of it, but there's economic, just political science side, cultural, there's tons of different angles to approach it from.
Anyway, let me see here. Alan, you're with the Palm Springs Mounted Police. I imagine, I would ask who are they, but I imagine they're the Palm Springs Mounted Police.
Well, Palm Springs, California, where the bomb blew up And 3 days later, you asked me if they actually had really mounted police. And a friend of mine sent me the cap a few weeks before that. He's a Palm Springs police officer.
And
It's
they
in
have,
Southern California in the desert, going out toward Salton Sea,
yeah.
east of Riverside. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's a comfortable hat. I haven't worn it for a while, so I thought I'd change hats.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Anyway, let's see here. What's happening? Anything happening in the news? It's always the same thing over and over and over again, isn't it? You know? I was thinking about what you said last night, Josh, about, well, you know, we're paying too much attention to the situation with, what's his name? Oh, God, my mind goes. Epstein. And I had to think about it, and I went, you know, the reason we're talking about it is because it does bother us, you know? And I think that's the reason why people are discussing it. Yeah, in the great scheme of things, there are probably better things and more important things to talk about. But this is something that, to begin with, I think it bothers Donald Trump. I think he's definitely been bothered by the whole thing. And I think the more we keep the conversation going, the worse he feels. And quite frankly, I don't mind that in the least.
Pressure.
Right, Charlie?
Me either.
Charlie gave me the thumbs up. That's why I'm all for it. You know, but we can't forget the other stuff, too, you know. And there's lots of other stuff. And now, if he gives a pardon to Ghislaine Maxwell, there's going to be a revolution in this country.
You know, I had a little conspiracy theory I was talking to my wife about. And you guys can laugh if you want.
No, give me a good conspiracy
I've got
theory.
a good conspiracy theory or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We talk all the time about, you know, Rubio and all these guys all hanging around Trump all the time and just kissing his ass left and right. And looks as fake as it does, but they're really doing it. But what's not to say that all these people, or most of these people, have been on that list?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Jeff is having troubles.
All hanging around Trump, just kissing his ass left and right.
No, Jeff, you got to turn it off.
You got it.
Doing it.
I did.
But
okay.
What's not to say?
Wait a minute. No, that he hasn't got it yet.
Now you got it back on again.
People have been on that.
No, you got a problem there, Jeff.
Having troubles. All hanging around Trump.
You got a window open, Jeff. There's a X up there you got to hit.
Jeff, you got to turn it off.
I'm trying to find it.
Doing
I
it.
did.
But
What's he doing this on an iPhone? I mean, you should
Found
be
it.
He hasn't got it yet. No, you didn't find it.
have been on that.
You got a problem. You still got it.
Troubles. All hanging around Trump.
You got a window open, Jeff. There's a X up there you got to hit.
Boy, he's way behind, isn't he?
Just get him. It's right.
Just what's he doing this on an iPhone? I mean, you should be. Didn't find it. Huh? You got a problem. Still got it. You can't find it.
There it is.
Shut everything down.
Well, that took care of it. Yeah, that took great care of
Anyway,
it.
so before I lose my train of thought, all these people, what if the Rubios and all these people are on that fucking list, and Trump has been holding that against him? Okay, you know, we all think that, you know, Trump's got them, you know, having sex with barnyard animals. Maybe this is more reasonable, that these people are on the list and they don't want it out. You know, just my
Trump's the one blackmailing.
crazy. The way it is now, how is that crazy with all the other shit going on? It ain't.
It's not crazy, but let me see here. Let me open this. Let me see here. Let me bring in Jeff again. Here we go. Hey, Jeffrey. Okay, you're all right now, Jeff? Good. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're right, but I don't think they are. in there. I don't think Rubio's in there. I mean, I just don't think it's his way of doing things. Now, there are a lot of people who are in the Epstein files, I'm sure, because Epstein was a collector of human beings, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he ingratiated himself to everyone. Hell, my friend Bobby Slayton stayed at one of his apartments. He knew Epstein. He knew
It's not
Epstein.
out of hand.
Yeah. He knew Epstein. I'm sure, who knows, maybe he's in the Epstein files. I doubt
Right.
it, at least not on that level, you know? So
And it could be that, you know, he's in the Epstein files and might not be on that level, but
yeah.
they're in the files and everybody's made such a big deal out of it. Now they open it up and find all these names.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It was just my wacky little thinking.
Well, I'm sure there are a lot of people there. Like he claims, Trump claims, oh well, Clinton's in there. Well, of course he's in there. He flew with him on the airplane to the island. That didn't mean that anything went on besides him taking a nice vacation to an island, you know. But we have to suss this out. I mean, you know, if Clinton did do something untoward, then he should be held to account for it. I agree with Trump on that, but Trump should be as well.
Correct.
You know. But he tries to always blame everybody else. You know, oh, now he's gone back to that whole thing that the election was fixed by Obama, you know, back in 2016. And I'm going, number one, didn't you win that one?
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, if he fixed it, he did a terrible job of it. And if you won, what was the crime? And let's say he did. Let's say he did everything he could to defeat, and he should have. He was a Democrat. He didn't want Trump to win. He would give his support to anybody he could. But I don't think he created any situation where Trump was going to lose because of it. And Trump didn't lose. So what's he even yelling about? You know? How many years?
It's a strange world.
How many years ago was that? 9 years ago?
Well,
You know, come on. Stop worrying about this stuff. Have people found snakes yet, Mark?
nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. He has Marco Pad Pro as his name there. And all I could think of is, you know, it's Florida. Could be Marco Rubio, but no, it turned out it was just Mark Thorner.
Yep.
Yep. Are you going to go out there and take pictures, or are you just sitting in your car?
The cameras are doing all the work for me.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. And how fast do you have them set for?
Well, one is photographing the Pelican Nebula. The other one is just taking multiple continuous 20-second exposures.
Do you have a telescopic lens that can see that nebula?
Actually, you do. It's an astronomy camera. It's very, very cool. I mean, it's like I have an app. It connects to this thing, and I look at what's up there, and I go, "Oh, that looks cool," and it just does it. It's like, and I get the pictures back, and I'm like, "Whoa."
Astronomy camera. How much did that thing cost you?
Honestly, $500.
What?
What?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
That's cheaper than an Icon.
It's one of those things. I took a chance on it. There were a couple of really good YouTube videos about it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, this is too good. And the company that sells it, though, is very reputable. They sell a lot of good telescopes. And I'm thinking, let me try this. And I remember I was like, the Andromeda Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And it came up with a perfect picture. It took a long time to get it, though. But it was like, oh, my God, it's perfect. So
Well, do you have to do it with time not time lapse, but just open the shutter and wait? You know?
no,
Yeah.
it does everything. It literally, it's like having a planetarium, and it just goes and it locks on, it tracks, and it just keeps taking pictures until it builds the whole picture.
Wow.
So you tell it what to look for, and then it just goes and finds it and starts.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I can get behind this. Charlie, you would have a ball with this. I'll send you the information on it. It's like, oh my God.
But
It's cheaper than it's cheaper than a Celestron.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's got to be fun, except when you have to go out and the cameras are outside, I imagine.
Yes.
And you have to go out and retrieve the cameras and then jump over snakes, I would imagine, if you
And swarms of mosquitoes.
And swarms of mosquitoes and gators.
Alex, they're literally right outside the car practically.
What, the snakes?
No, well, no, the cameras. I mean,
oh, okay.
Put them through the sunroof and put them up top.
Yeah.
No, can't do that. But and that's why this area that I am, it's unpaved roads, but they are public roads, and people know where I am. So, you know,
I think that's terrific. I really do. You know, because I used to be a big astronomy buff when I was a kid.
Moon rocks, Alex.
Yeah,
they called you Moon Rocks.
They called me Moon Rocks. The kids at school called me Moon Rocks Bennett. Yeah. Because I told them, I said, within 10 years, we're going to be on the moon.
Yeah.
And they all laughed at me. That was, I was off by a year, I think. I said that when I was 18.
Oh, by the way, Alex, changing the subject totally.
Yeah.
Go see the Fantastic Four.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
I mean, this is going back to the Stan Lee that you knew. It's the 60s. It's when you were with WMCA. It's that good.
Really?
Superman's supposed to be really, really good too.
Well, I got a couple of things to see or to wait for, one or the other. But all I know is the Fantastic Four. I was discussing this today with Mike Chisholm, and I was discussing it also with Michael Snyder. I was so put off by the Fantastic Four, though, because it's not the first time they've done a movie of the Fantastic Four. And they've all been miserable failures.
This one isn't.
Wow. That's amazing. That's good. You know. And I can't figure out why the other ones failed, but they just never seemed. Every time I tried to watch them, I couldn't get through them. You know, they were just so boring. And they've made how many prior to this? Stan Lee, Roger Corman made one.
5 total.
He made 5? Oh.
Well, no, there's the Corman one, and then there were 5. Well, I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5.
Before this one or with this one?
Let's see. There was the Corman. There was the Corman, the 2 Fox ones, and then the other one, which we will not talk about. So 4 total. 4
total, and this is the 5th.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, you know, the Corman one that was made, it came to be because the guy who had the rights to the movie didn't really know how to make movies, so he asked Stan Lee to make a movie, Corman to make a movie out of it.
Yeah, it was never officially released, but you can go on YouTube and watch it.
Yeah.
It's 90 minutes of your life you will never see back.
Really? Was it even worse than that Ewok television show?
Let me put it to you this way. That and the one before this one, the one that Josh Trank did. Whoa. I was like, why did the steaming pile even get released?
Well, now I've got 2 movies to look forward to. You know? It's wonderful. Because I want to see the Superman. And I wasn't planning on seeing the Fantastic Four, but then you're the third person today, if I include Snyder, who said you got to see this movie.
Yeah.
You know, you go to movies on the first day they're out, practically, don't you?
That's kind of a tradition with my friends, and when I was working in that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, during college, we would go. And that became kind of like a thing.
Wow. Well, good. So that's something that's good news. I'm happy to hear that. You know, that was Stan Lee's and what's his name's first
Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby. That was their first cartoon, wasn't it? It was the first comics.
Well, that was their first superhero, modern superhero, not including the stuff that they did for Timely or the stuff that Jack did back before he went into the Second World War as an infantry
Okay, but what I'm saying is that, like, for instance, Spider-Man came out of this, right? Spider-Man was in the first comic he had was with the Fantastic Four, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I grew up reading this stuff, and hell, Alex, we've talked about this before. Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie Hall. Yeah, I appeared at Stan Lee's Stan Lee show at Carnegie Hall, and I played we read his comics, okay, and we all played various parts, and I was Dr. Doom. So, you know, and people are to this day impressed by that, you know. Not the fact I was more impressed by the fact that I was playing Carnegie Hall, okay, you know. Because all I knew about Carnegie Hall was the old joke about how do you get to Carnegie Hall practice, you know. Anyway, so it's good to know. It's good to know. Anybody else see any good movies lately? I watched this thing, Thunderbolts. Have you seen Thunderbolts? It's not bad.
A lot of fun.
Not bad. A lot of fun. You know. But do you think this will put the Marvel Universe back into play again?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love this stuff. I do. But when it's great, it's great. But when they don't nail it, oh boy, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see the Superman?
I'm going to see it this week, probably.
Yeah. I hear they nailed that too.
Yeah.
I hear it's really good. You know, but anyway. What's the last movie you went to see, Alan? I can't. You never talk about movies.
I don't go to movies. I wait till they come out on DVD.
Well, it's the last one you saw. They don't make. Do you watch DVDs anymore?
Yeah, I got. Well,
I do.
The whole stack.
Do you really order them still?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, well, then you can watch them whenever you want.
Yeah.
Well, I get them. I get them digitally. You know, so I always have a nice pristine copy.
Well, you're a lot richer than I am. You know,
Yeah.
you can afford that. I got to go to the $5 DVD section.
Yeah, me too.
Really? Oh, okay.
I haven't been to a movie theater in probably 10 years.
You know, the last time we were in a movie theater, we went to see Oppenheimer.
Oh,
I have the DVD of that, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but I mean, we went to the theater and saw Oppenheimer. Marjorie said, "Let's go see it in IMAX." I went, "Okay." You know, I don't like IMAX. I can't stand IMAX. It's just too big a screen. It's too much of the field of view. You know, I got to sit in the back row, and it's still too big. It's like sitting in the front row of any other movie. But we went. That's the last time we were at a theater, so that's got to be at least a year ago. Was it a year ago? Yeah. So, yeah. Maybe it was 2 years ago. I can't.
Yeah, I got it on DVD over a year ago.
Oh, okay, then it's 2 years ago. You know, that's the last time
movie
we went.
I saw was Cocaine Bear.
Oh, you went to see Cocaine Bear?
Yeah.
Well, see, we haven't gone to movie theaters because, quite frankly, we can't see any reason to go to a theater because they're not human friendly anymore. You know, I mean, to begin with, if you want somebody kicking the seat in back of you, then it's a great experience, you know. And
That's
then
what pepper spray's for.
yeah, but I mean,
You
it's
might
just,
not, you don't even have to miss the movie. You just spray over your
it's
shoulder.
just not a good experience anymore. I mean, we went back to one. We saw two movies. One was Oppenheimer, and I think about a year before that, or right after COVID was over with, we went to see something else, and I can't remember what. And it was just not a pleasant experience. The theaters are shabby. They're in terrible shape. You would have thought that when COVID came out and the theaters were closed, they go, well, as long as it's closed, let's fix it up so that when they finally want to come back here, it'll be in good shape. And they didn't do anything. You know,
Because they weren't allowed to.
well, they weren't allowed to? What do you mean they weren't allowed? Oh, they
Because it
were.
was COVID. Everybody was staying home.
Well, I mean, you
Yeah.
could still fix a theater and everybody could come who was going to work on it, wear a mask and things like that, you know. But man, these
They were not
theaters-
essential.
That's right.
Remember that everybody had to be essential.
We have to had to be essential.
Had to be essential to be out on the road.
Well, the movie
Well,
theater I
nice.
went to, it's pretty nice.
Really?
That's why the one I went to had big old
chairs and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Mine had
had
big
easy chairs.
Mine had the big chairs that they had before we went into COVID, and they hadn't done anything about them, and the chairs were all falling apart. Those big.
Oh, you went to a shithole then.
No, there's nothing worse than one of those big, comfy chairs going bad.
Yeah.
Okay, you know.
Mine was just fine. It kicked back all the way back.
Oh,
I even
yeah.
fell asleep a little bit.
Oh,
They had a
yeah.
bar there and the whole bit.
Yeah, yeah,
I was getting my car work done next door. It's the only reason I was there.
yeah. But you know, so I mean, what were you going to say, Jeff? You had your hand up.
So we, my son and I were watching an old movie tonight.
How old?
Superman, the first
The
version.
first one? Oh yeah, they've got
Yeah.
those all up on a lot of the streaming
Oh, yeah.
services.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was very good. And we're really enjoying it.
I was never that fond of that film, and I'll tell you why. I just felt that it just didn't connect. It was okay, you know, but it just, I don't know, you know, that's a very hard comic book character to do. Okay, not easy. And I felt that just because they finally had special effects and stuff, which they hadn't had before.
Right.
It just looked like a guy was lying down on some kind of something, and with a screen in back of him with clouds going by. You know, that was Superman up to that point. So everybody was amazed by it, but I just didn't. I never liked that film that much. You know,
It's raw.
Huh?
You know, it's raw. I mean, there was parts of it that were really awesome, and parts that were crappy. And
Yeah.
I know, but the whole system was the first.
Yeah, no, I mean,
level.
it's an entertaining film. I'm not saying it isn't, but, you know, just not my cup of tea. But I'm fascinated to go see this current I love some of the Superman TV stuff. I love the show they did recently called Superman and Lois, or it was about Superman and Lois being married and having kids.
Yeah.
And it was a great show, wasn't it?
Yep. I loved it.
Absolutely
Never missed
terrific
the show.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a great show. So I've loved a lot of the things they've done that way, but it seems the movies never, you know, quite made it. I think it was Shecky who was a big DC fan. He used to go to DC every week, and they would give him all the comic books and everything. It was across the street from Letterman, I think. And he said to me, the great thing, the unusual thing about DC is the movies have sucked, but the series on television have been pretty damn good, you know. And he said, why don't they get the people who do the TV shows to do the movies? Am I right, Mark?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so whatever, you know. That was his theory on that. But anyway, so we haven't seen anything. Have we watched anything here? I can't remember if we watched anything. Oh yeah, we watched. Oh yeah, we watched the latest Wes Anderson film, The Phoenician Scheme.
Yeah.
And I looked at Marjorie and I went, I think Wes Anderson has finally gotten to that period of his life where he said, I think I'm going to make a Wes Anderson type movie. You know, because it's just not much of anything goes on in it, and it looks great, you know, and everybody, but it's like if you're going to do when people can do a parody of you, it's time for you to change your style. You know, I mean, it's very hard, for instance, to do a parody of a Martin Scorsese film because he never makes the same movie twice. Or if he does, he waits several years before doing the next one. So, you know. But anyway. So anybody have any great plans for the weekend? I'm stalling here. Because I got nothing, you know. Unless you want to talk about the same old stuff, in which case, have at it. But, you know, what's the sense, you know?
Going to the drag races tomorrow and then going to my grandkids on Sunday.
Really? You like the drag races?
Oh, yeah. Well, my wife works for one of the top field drivers.
Oh, neat.
Well, you've always been into cars and working on cars and things like that, right?
Yep.
And Brian Neary loves cars.
Boy, does he.
Yeah. He's crazy about them. I never got into cars. Because my father, a musician, always said to me, remember, son, a car is just basic transportation. And so I never thought of what? What did you say, Jeff?
It was.
It was.
It was, yeah.
But he said, you know, it's basic transportation and never give it any other reason for existence. And so I never really got into cars. I always had great cars. I had Nissan 300Z, and I had some great cars over the years. But it was only because I could afford them, and I bought them. And as I would drive down the street, kids would go, and I didn't know what they were thinking about, you know. I remember I had one of the Wankel engine cars, the Mazda 3, what was it?
RX-7.
RX-7. Yeah. So, I mean, I always bought good cars, but always ringing in my head when I was buying them was my father saying, don't forget, they're just basic transportation, you know. Are you into cars, Mark?
I am a car nut. Unfortunately,
I mean,
it's like I grew up at a time when it was the Mustang and it was the Dodge Charger.
I had a Mustang too.
My favorite car was the Daytona Charger. Mm-hmm. And yeah, right. And now they brought it back as literally an electric toy.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought it back literally, Alex, as an all-electric vehicle. And I'm looking at it. It looks great. Don't get me wrong. But it's all electric. And it's like, okay.
Why?
Well, do you remember, Kevin, a toy that the Ideal Toy Company made called Motorific?
Yep.
That's what it is. It's a big Motorific.
Jeez.
Rather than 2 drop-in AA batteries, you got the battery pack. You got an electric motor. You got 4 or 2. But it looks great. I mean, people have been buying them down here. It looks fantastic. But I'm like,
When did they come out with that? Because I'm a Mopar guy, and I
hadn't
heard of it.
Oh, take a look at it. I mean, like I said, it looks fantastic. And supposedly they're going to come out with with some kind of gas version of it. But yeah, Alex, I mean, and also I used to go to Raceway Park in Englishtown, New Jersey to watch the drag racing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I loved airplanes. I learned how to fly an airplane before I knew how to drive. So I guess I had a need for speed, as they say.
Yeah.
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 So,
well, the closest I've ever come to a basic drag race is I was in a demolition derby.
Oh, those are great.
But they put me in a car in a demolition derby. I think I still have the stains in my pants from that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I always wanted to drive enduro, and I almost did.
Really?
Enduros,
But you wanted to sit in with a bunch of cars crashing into you?
Yeah, because enduro was like it was actually a race in an oval, but you were ramming into people if they were in your way.
What happened was when I first went to work in Houston, Texas, and the radio station said, "We've got a promotion for you to do. You're going to be in a demolition derby." And I went, "Well, what's that?" And they said, "Don't worry, we'll tell you when you get there." And when I found out what it was, oh man, it was frightening. Yes, Alan.
Just about every week or two when I was working in law enforcement, we got to do drag racing. They call them police pursuits.
Yes, right.
Local drag racing.
Well, hold on.
How about you, Josh? You ever been into cars?
No, I don't care about cars at all.
Yeah, I mean, if they get me from one place to another and they don't break down, I'm happy with the car, you know. But somehow I always wound up buying really nice cars, you know. So, whatever. I owned I owned a Mustang. I remember my Mustang. And then what was the next car? And I had a bunch of wimpy cars too. I had you remember the Valiant?
Oh God.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I don't know why I bought that car. I don't know why I bought that. What a piece of crap that was.
Slant six in it.
Yeah, powerful. Get up from 0 to 60 in about 4 miles.
One of the first cars I ever bought was an Austin Healey. It was a small one though. It was Austin Healey. I can't remember what the name of it was. Wasn't the Austin Healey you think of when you think of a fast car? This was a little. It almost looked like a car that you'd have at Disneyland to drive around in the Motorama. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? It was called the Austin Healey something, and I can't remember the last name now.
It's kind of like the old the MGs. Yeah, the Triumph, the MG. There was a time when they all looked the same.
Yes,
Yeah, the TR6 or something like that.
Yeah, it was a TR6, something like that. Yeah, you're right. You're close.
The Austin Healey first had the 4-cylinder
Sprite.
Then,
Austin Healey Sprite. That was it.
It's the same as it's almost the same size as
I had to take the car back to the dealer because one day it got really flooded in Marin County. And the water came up to the door on the car, and the entire car flooded. And I just said, "Come on, this isn't fun," you know. And my father actually helped me take it back to the dealer, who did take it back. We just said, "This is unacceptable," you know. And
you needed a car like I drove for a job. You get to go through red lights and do 90 miles an hour in a 25-mile zone.
But you're a cop.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
You forgot that part about it? What do you do? Give yourself a ticket? No, I don't think so. No. You know.
Yeah, you don't go through red lights and stuff like that at 90 miles an hour if you're chasing somebody at 90 miles an hour. Because if you, in California, even as a police officer, lights and siren, if you run into somebody or hit somebody, you're responsible.
Let me ask you, though, when you were a cop, did you ever have a thing where they told you have to give out this many tickets this month?
No, because I wasn't a traffic officer.
Oh, I see. You never had.
I hated it. I hated doing traffic.
If
I pulled somebody over, there's a good chance they would get a verbal admonishment and not a ticket.
Okay, but they never said, "Hey, you aren't giving out enough tickets."
There were no quotas where I worked, but some departments, especially in the South, they have a lot of quotas.
There are some municipalities that make a living off of that.
Absolutely. Also in California, unlike some states you can hide the police car behind a big billboard and watch the car go by and then go chase it. In California, the police car's got to be visible. If you've ever drove down the freeway, and they could be, a black and white at 3 in the morning looking for drunk drivers on the freeway, and you would never see the car until you were on top of it. But they can't hide. You can't hide behind things in California.
Yeah, well, when I was a kid, you used to get a ticket for I know, going through a red light, and it was $5.
Not anymore.
Not
Add
anymore.
a few zeros.
Add a few zeros. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. And
Oh yeah.
the last ticket I got, I can remember the last ticket I got. I got it in Italy. I got it in Florence. And I went down a street. And I come back home, and there's a thing in the mail from the Italian police in Florence saying, you owe us $250 for going down the wrong way down a one-way street.
Wow.
They had a thing where streets constantly were changing which way you could go on them. Like here, between 2 and 3, you couldn't go in this direction. But between 4 and 5, you could, And I didn't know that. Why? I can't read Italian street signs, okay? So I'm sitting there with a ticket for $250, and I paid it because who knows when I'm going to go back to Italy again. I don't want to get arrested, thrown in jail, and whatever. But that's the last ticket I got. In fact, it was the last time I really ever drove either, so. But I was talking to a guy here in New York the other day who was driving a Lyft. And he said, well, I can't go that fast. If I have to go the speed limit, it's going to cost me $150. And I'm going, my God, just trying to nail you everywhere.
Yep.
And I don't know that slows down traffic, oh, forget it. I'm not
I think the biggest thing that slows down traffic in New York is the horns in the cars. Take them out of the taxi cabs. God, it drive you nuts. These cabs that want to fly by all the other cars, they're honking.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to honk your horn to keep somebody from hitting you.
Oh, okay. Well, it is New York.
It does have a reason for existence. But there are some people who drive with their horns. Yes. Yeah.
I used to have a bumper sticker that said, if you don't like the way I drive, stay off of the sidewalk.
Let's see, how much time do we have? I got about half a minute left here. So anyway, everybody going to have a nice weekend, I guess. Well, of course, Charlie's going to, because he's going to spend it. I bet. Let me do a little. I'm going to do a little ESP here. Charlie's going to spend it at his girlfriend's, right?
You got it.
See, well, I'm so good at that.
Genius.
And Mark Thorner, if he survives the snakes and the mosquitoes, he's probably going to spend a nice afternoon at home tomorrow, right?
Oh, yes.
Because it's getting way too hot to go out.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's going to be miserable here. So anyway, let me start the theme here.
I'll bet mosquitoes kill more people than snakes. They carry a lot of really
diseases.
bugs.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't want to find out, okay? Let me put it that way. Hey, listen, Mark, great to have you here once again. I think it's the second time this week, isn't it?
Yes.
Second time in a row.
Yeah, what a nice treat. What a nice treat. And Kevin, good having you here. Always a pleasure. Charlie, I always want an astrophysicist here. It's important to me, Josh, thank you, and thank you for that little your little lecture on the Revolutionary War. And of course, Alan, thank you so much, and Jeff, it's great having you here too. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave. I can't talk anymore. A big wave goodbye at you. Okay, there they go. There goes our citizen panel for tonight. That's it for tonight for me. I will see you on Monday with the pop-up show at 4 o'clock on Facebook. And I will also see you then again a week from now. But stay tuned for Amy Manuel. She's next. You simply go to her on Zoom And to find her Zoom address, you simply go to gabnet.net, go to column 3, go to the very bottom. It says Amy Manuel. Click on that, and it'll take you to her program, okay? In the meantime, I'll see you again Monday and then next Wednesday. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, of course, tell her I love her, okay? Bye. Have a nice weekend, everybody.